Hey guys, it's your friendly neighborhood advisor, Alexander Quinn here, and today I'm going to be telling you how you can start making money with just $1,000 invested. So there's three main ways that I've seen people do this successfully. One is if you really want to do no work, no effort, and you're busy with a day job or whatever the case may be, then you probably want to put it in what's called an index fund. An index fund is a type of stock where you basically are, so like an S&P 500 is an index fund, and you're basically investing in the 500 most traded companies. The most popular companies are usually in that bracket, such as Google, Apple, etc. And what happens is that it's usually a pretty safe bet historically. In ever since about 1957, any 10-year period that you look at, the stocks have gone up even during bad times. During COVID pandemic, companies actually made quite a bit of money. Even during the Great Depression, etc. The market didn't do too great during that time period, but if you're able to leave the money in there for a while, then it always turns up. You don't need to have it in there long term, but if something bad does happen, then just leave it there. And when the market pulls out, then you'll be better off for having that money in there. Otherwise, if it's not a bad time to pull out, then you just make money until you do need that money elsewhere. Also, you can borrow against the funds as well. So if you need money and it's like, oh crap, I put all my savings in a stock fund, etc., in a stock portfolio, then you actually can usually use that as collateral to borrow money against it. So even if it's undervalued, you leave it there, you borrow against it, you use the money you borrowed to pay off what you need, and then you pay that off. Usually interest rates are pretty good in when markets are doing terrible, so it's usually smarter to do it that way. And then after everyone comes out of that rough time, then you turn around and you benefit from the profits that it receives when it bounces back. Markets do usually bounce back pretty hard to pretty close to where they would have been if there wasn't a downturn in the first place. So it's usually smart just to leave it in there. Option number two, if you want to do a little bit more work, actually I'm going to say option 1B. I'm going to create a new option here. So option 1B is to invest in small cap funds. So a small cap is the same thing as S&P 500 index fund, like I explained, except that it has a it's smaller businesses, but it's still the most popular businesses among the smaller businesses. The reason why that would be a smart option is because statistically, it usually performs better on average. However, it is more volatile. What that means is that it has even more ups and downs than the regular market. So statistically, you're going to make more as long as you're smart about it. However, if you are not okay with that volatility, if that's going to make you nervous and it's going to make you pull out at a bad time, then maybe it's not the best option for you. Or if you want the funds to be available for you soon or when you need them, etc. All right, so option number two, which is better if you actually want to be active, you want to be moving, you want to just play an active role, or you want to really calculate or think about how you should spend your funds, would be starting up a high margin business or a low effort business, such as learning a skill or trying something online. This may sound strange at first, but I'm totally serious here. So what you do is you figure something that you think you can do or you think you can learn quickly from some YouTube videos, and then you try a couple of those out to see if you actually can make money from them, such as learning how to do a little bit of editing, creating a logo, something you think you can do quick and learn quick without needing a degree for it. Um, it and if you can do that successfully, then I recommend investing and getting the appropriate tools and marketing needed to get yourself out there. After you have a couple of successful trials with something like that, then you can use that and put yourself on multiple websites where others can easily find you. Also, if you're successful and you set up the profiles, then you can get people to put good reviews on those profiles as well to give you a good starting there. You also could look into other skills that you can obtain or even pay for. I recommend seeing if you're good at something before actually paying into for any type of courses. Also, a lot of online courses that you can pay for usually have a free option that's not too far off from the standard. It depends on what we're talking about here, but the reason why this option has worked for so many is because they have the money to invest in themselves if they see the opportunity, if they see that they genuinely have the ability to grow with it, and they try it first without actually putting the money in. Um, and if they do well, then they invest in themselves to get it booming, and it usually works well. If you do a good test run when there isn't money in, then you usually perform pretty well once you put the money in. However, if you do it the other way around, this can work. It's not the worst idea, but usually I haven't seen it go very well. It's hard to know how well you really perform until you actually see yourself working on your own. People who go to college tend to be more successful at doing that as well because they're used to managing their own time and their own deadlines. But when you work for yourself, then there is a lot of people struggle with keeping themselves moving and motivated. It feels like you can do it until you actually try to do it and realize that sometimes you do need someone to step in and say, hey, I need you to keep working, hey, you got to keep hustling, moving, etc. Option number three, I honestly forgot. Give me a moment here to think. Maybe I wrote it down. Oh, okay. So option number three, this is probably going to mostly apply to people who have the most stable of stomachs because it is investing in others, but specifically you want to do your research on where to find accurate sources, what websites are actually worth it, what other lenders do, etc., how they go about it. The reason why I'm suggesting this, it may seem like an oddball for people who are not used to it or people who haven't run any type of business before, but I have seen this provide a really, really high profit margin in anyone who I've seen try it. It's pretty low maintenance, it's pretty easy. You just figure out what type of thing you want to invest in and do your homework on that thing. You don't have to be good at that in particular, but as long as you stick to a particular area, like you invest in people who flip homes or you invest in whatever, you pick something and then figure out what numbers make it good or bad, and then just put yourself out there. Everyone is looking for a loan, and everyone's looking for the littlest bit of difference in interest rate of choosing you over someone else. And if you can do it quicker, which you probably can do it much quicker than a bank, and you say, hey, just give me these numbers and I will fund it, then people will come to you. That couple days speed makes a huge difference to big time investors, especially if they see a great deal like a fix and flip where they're going to turn the money over in about a month or two, or at least they think they will. Then they're gonna need that money. Or if they already are in the project and they need another $1,000 to get it going, then or if they need 2,000, they'll still try to see if they can make it work with $1,000 and see what they can do. But they will come to you. They will definitely come to you. There's plenty of people out there that are looking for things like that, and you make pretty good money. I've seen a lot of people make 15% interest in 1 month, and if they don't make at least that much per month, then they won't do it. And imagine if you got $150 a month from your $1,000. So it's a really high profit margin way to invest $1,000. Anyway, I hope that this helps someone out there. You all take care and have a great day.